Hello, Internet, and welcome to not Survivors Complex. We're doing a fun little one-shot today. We had some people missing. Alex, not our usual Alex, is joining us. And Morgan's going to be running.
Alex.
Yeah, Morgan's going to be running a fun game of Weave for us tonight, which I think none of us have played. So we're going to be kind of learning. She's going to be teaching us along the way, and I think it's a new game. It just came out like last year.
Yeah, like October last year.
If you haven't checked it out yet, there's some people playing online. I know a couple of channels are doing it. There's a lot of tutorials and stuff. You should definitely check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Morgan will explain most of that as we go. I'm going to start us off with our announcements before I kick it over to her. We had our very first session of Tidefall last Thursday, which was a blast. And there will be more of that to come 2 weeks from that Thursday, a week from this Thursday. But if you missed it, make sure you check it out on YouTube later this week when it goes up, and you can catch up on all the fun in time for the next session. So we all really enjoyed it, and we're really looking forward to that continuing story. As per usual, we have Wild Space coming up on Monday, and we will have our next session of Survivors Complex a week from today. And I think everyone will be there that week, so we're super pumped about that as we kind of wrap up this arc. I don't think we have much else going on right now. I know we are probably going to have a big announcement, a giveaway announcement in the next week or so. So stay tuned for that as per usual. All the links are below. So scroll beneath our faces, and you can check out our Twitter and follow us for updates there, and all over the internet where you can follow, subscribe to us all over the place. And I think that's it. Yep. Yeah. So that's all I'm going to say. Morgan, take it away.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be playing Weave. So this game is really great in that you can quickly make characters and just dive into the game. So we're actually going to start with sort of creating our characters right now. So how that starts is everyone's going to get a challenge card, and that'll kind of determine what they're good at. So I don't know who wants to pick the first card.
Maybe we should have Sappy go first because we're showing her screen, and that way they can see what the process is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So so there's a card on the table. I think you can flip it over.
I can click on it. Flip card. So I flip it now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
What does that
Stones. Okay, so you're gonna scan it onto your phone, into the app. Stones is essentially kind of strength and constitution, speaking in D&D terms. It's being athletic and strong and things like that. So that will be what your character is good at, and you can't fail at being good at that thing. It also means you'll get an extra die whenever a stones challenge comes up. Okay. And so that...
How do I use this app, though?
Oh, no!
It says scan a challenge card.
Yeah, so you'll scan the card that's on the table.
So just point your camera.
Okay, so you're going to point that at the screen.
It just does it. Okay.
Yep.
Great. Got it.
Yeah, it just does it. Okay, and then you'll just hang out for a minute while we get everybody else's cards up. All right, who wants to get the next one? All right.
Go, Sean, go.
I'll go.
Okay, the card there so you can see it. Ooh. All right, and flip your card.
All right. Flip card.
Okay, Brooks. So Brooks is essentially charisma. So Babbling Brook, you're good at talking with people, kind of interacting with them. Yeah, so that is what your character will be good at.
Scan. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. All right, who wants to go next?
Go for it, Sarah.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
Oh, wait, hang on. That's not right. Sorry, hang on. I set up the deck wrong, so let me get. All right, there you go. All right. I'm sorry, hang on. I had to like set all this stuff up in Roll20 so we could have a digital version of these physical cards.
It's all good. We're all learning. It's gonna be
Yeah. So this might take a minute. Okay.
great.
Why won't it let me do the thing? Okay, there you go. There is a card for you to flip over and just.
Okay, here we go. I'm flipping my card. Wait, flip card. There we go. It is.
Okay.
Woo.
Flames. Okay, so flames is essentially like intelligence and sort of wisdom a little bit. So you're good at like remembering things, like noticing stuff. Yeah, and that's flames. So it's kind of intelligence in D&D terms.
Okay.
All right, so you're just gonna scan on that card.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing I'm supposed to do.
Yes.
This is our first story card.
This is your focus suit card.
Okay.
Challenge card.
Yeah.
So you'll get. So I'll just
Scan thing.
Okay, I'm gonna deal.
Yeah, because it didn't let me scan it. It doesn't look like it registered or saved.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
Yeah, because it's on my app right now. It's asking for the first story card.
Okay, no, that's right then, because that's
Okay.
the story card is the next step.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right, which leaves the last one for Alex. I'm gonna flip that
Flip
over.
card.
All right, the last one is Gales. Gales is kind of dexterity in a way. So you're swift, you're quick, you're able to like dodge out of things, you're very agile. So that is Gales. All right, and then I should have dealt 6 more cards to the rest of you guys, your story cards.
Okay.
So you can pick what order you'll kind of scan those in, but individually you'll go in and using the app you'll scan a card, and then it'll present you with a couple options. And this starts building your character's backstory, their flaws, their signature move, various things like that. And so so you guys will just start scanning your cards. You should be able to bring up a card in your hand and like zoom in on it.
Mhm.
Okay.
So you double tap it.
Yeah. So you just go through, and then I guess this is where that's tricky because this is kind of a thing that you do on your own. But if there's something as you're building your character that you really like, please share with the class. Unless it says it's a secret, don't share the secrets with anybody.
So based on Gale and one of the optional backstories, I'm already shaping up to be Max from Stranger Things Season 2. You know, I'm the
Excellent.
Zoomer. Useless excellence. You have the all-time high score for the Akari 5600 game, Coat and Stabber, 1,329,542 points.
Yeah.
So that is my backstory, and then we'll take a look at the talents.
So are we gonna end up scanning all of them, or are we?
I
Like,
think
just picking
you'll
ones
scan
we
all
like.
of them. Sometimes, you can pick the order. But I think you should end up scanning in all 6 cards, unless for some reason it tells you not to. And it'll tell you how many either backstories or traits, or I think also you can get like a couple items is like another one of the cards. So you kind of just go through, pick what you want. That's what sounds like.
These are great.
Okay, it's a backstory for one of the cards that I have that I'm not gonna pick, but I have to read it because it's so good.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Most important meal of the day. Every day for breakfast, you eat 2 raw eggs and a glass of orange juice mixed all together in a blender.
Oh, no thanks.
I'm quite sure how that would like inform a character, but there you go. That's
So there you go.
Ooh, Morgan, do you want to tell them what deck we're using and kind of the theme?
Oh, yeah, good idea. So tonight we are playing in the Gloomies playset, which is inspired by all the 80s movies you can imagine, all the great tropes and things that happen. I like to explain it that it's sort of like Stranger Things and the Gloomies and Gravity Falls kind of all bunched into one. So there's a lot of fun winks and nods at pop culture things you'll see come up, which just makes the game lots of fun. I'm pretty sure an item you can have is like Eggo waffles, except they don't use Eggo because that's copyrighted, but you know.
I'm so tempted to take the backstory that I'm super into pirates just because of all the Sea of Thieves we've been playing.
Oh man, go for it if you want it.
I don't think it fits for the character that I'm shaping up right now.
Well, thanks for sharing anyways.
Yeah, I want it.
I just want to tell you guys one of the talents that I picked.
Yeah, go for it.
It's called Crane Kick. I have unorthodox karate training, so all of mine start with, because of your unorthodox karate training, you can balance on one foot and execute an elaborate kick attack that is absolutely devastating, assuming your opponent stands in front of you motionless, waiting for you to prepare.
Mhm.
Oh, that's gonna be good later.
Two of my backstory options are just essentially puberty being as awkward as possible.
Oh, yeah, there's some extra awkward ones in there.
Yep. No, I'm gonna keep it because that would just get way too uncomfortable for everyone if I went with that one.
Okay, one of the backstory talents I'm going with is unauthorized access to mom's checkbook. You haven't exactly been keeping track, but even at this young age, you've probably committed felony levels to check fraud.
That's good stuff. That sounds like a useful trait to have.
You know, it might come in handy.
Know. You never know.
I will say these scan really well.
Mm-hmm.
Almost too well.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky.
Yeah.
How good the app works sometimes. Like, what is technology?
No, I'm not gonna bring on the awkward. It would just be way too awkward and uncomfortable for everyone involved.
You sure?
Me most of all. I mean, so I didn't pick it, but so there was an option for boy and girl, and for the boy, it was basically the big giant text was you having a boner 90% of the time. So it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna go with that one.
Thanks.
Yep.
I mean, I know there's one in there about menstruation that's real good.
That was the girl one. Yep. You've been bleeding for 4 days straight and haven't died. You must be immortal.
Oh, that's my favorite one. I'm pretty sure. Well, that'll be exciting. Yeah, so I guess when we get to the end of this process, if you guys just let us know and you can start introducing your characters. I, as the storyteller, will have access to your kind of character sheets. So you don't have to say everything, just like what you want to share. If there's specific secrets, I mean, you're welcome to share them, or you can keep them secret. It's up to you. But yeah, you'll scan all the cards, and then I think the last step is naming your character.
Okay.
And then you should be good to go. Let's see. Yeah, so like I said earlier, we're playing in the Gloomies playset. There's a couple other playsets that Weave has. There's one that's there's two of them that are sort of sci-fi themed. One being more like a gritty urban sci-fi, and then the other one is more of a kind of like a 1950s kind of aspirational sci-fi. And then the other one is like essentially Mean Girls. It's like a high school comedy drama. I haven't played any of those sets, but maybe if everybody likes the game, maybe we can try playing through some of the other ones. But the Gloomies is the one I'm most familiar with, and it's real fun to play. Does everyone have any questions or things they would like to share so far?
Not yet.
Okay. It's pretty fun watching your guys' faces.
Yep.
Your reactions to these cards.
Yep. Oh, G-Master, yes, engaging content 10 out of 10. I think most of us, certainly me as a player, I'm not sure how much of this I should be sharing out loud and how much of it should be secret. Some of these do say, it should absolutely be a secret, and some of it, it's like, maybe it should be kept quiet. But, so what I'll do is I'll read one of the talents that I did not pick, which is Falconer. You have a pet bird that perches on a big, heavy glove you wear all the time. It's not trained particularly well, though.
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine some kid walking around with this hawk all the time?
Oh man, maybe. Oh, so
To the signature move part, this is hard.
Oh yeah. So your signature move is something that you'll get to do just once every session or every episode. So it's kind of a big deal, but also not that much, so don't sweat it too hard. But some of them are pretty fun.
I think I'm done.
You think you're
I'm
done?
close to being done.
okay.
All right, let me see. Oh, yep. Okay. I can see all of your stuff now.
His signature.
Yeah, so maybe when everyone's pretty close to being finished, Savannah will have you start, and you can say as much or as little about your character as you would like. And we'll sort of figure out like how you guys know each other, if you're related or whatnot. So that's always kind of a fun kind of group element.
This app is so cool, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah, it's really fun. And the cool thing about Weave is like you just like buy the box, which comes with all of the cards and a set of particular dice that have different icons on them. And then everything, all the rules and everything lives in the app. And so in the future, as they develop more play sets, more options, they have mentioned that there's going to be an option someday that you can build your own play sets, kind of write your own thing. So that's in the works. But yeah, it all lives in the app. So unfortunately, it might look like we're looking at our phones a lot, but it's because we have to use the app.
So let me make sure, were there cards we're not supposed to use on the thing, or?
Yeah, I think there were some extras.
Okay, there might be extras. Sometimes it makes you do 6, sometimes it makes you do like 4 or less.
I was gonna ask because I used 5 of my 6, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so I just gave you guys all 6 to be safe.
Yeah, I'm not.
Because that's like the max I've experienced. It's people to select. Yeah.
Because I think it only had me do 5 or 4.
Okay. Yeah, it just sort of depends. There's some sort of crazy algorithm in the app that just determines these things.
Let's see.
I don't know how
Should
this
the
works.
random name table generator in
Yeah.
Xanathar's.
I know, like, I don't know what to name my person.
What'd you name yours, Savannah?
Bobby with an I.
Ah, I'm Buck McKenzie.
I love it.
Bobby and Buck.
We're obviously friends.
It just sounded like an 80s name. It's probably from... I felt like that was from Back to the Future. I know there's a character named Buck in Back to the Future. I don't remember what his last name
You
was.
sound like Buckaroo Banzai.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Why do you hate that movie so much, Sean?
Nope.
Anyone out there while they're finishing naming their characters, if you haven't seen Buckaroo Banzai
Go watch it right now.
and his wonderful adventures across the 8th dimension, it's a really fun kind of cult classic movie that I love a lot. That just
I'm gonna watch later tonight.
it has the aliens and I think Jeff Goldblum.
It's a trip. That movie
And-
is just a
It's-
trip.
It's very interesting.
It's quite entertaining, so if you like stuff that's like this theme, you guys would like it.
Oh, sweet.
Enjoy. That's your movie recommendation for the day.
All right. I'm going with this name, even though as I'm doing it, I'm realizing it's a bit too much getting into Sonic the Hedgehog territory, but that's gonna be fine.
That's okay.
Do it. Lean in. Let's do it.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay. So looks like everybody's got a character. So maybe we'll start with Savannah, since you're the first one. Tell us about yourself.
All right. My character is Bobby with an I. She's very tall and sort of beefy and is probably bigger than most boys her age, which is great. She is trained in karate. Trying to go to my cards. She's like super tall and strong, and she's got this like wicked scar that goes like all the way down here. It's pretty nasty looking, and most people are afraid of it, but I think it's badass. That's what it says on my character sheet. I was in a lawnmower accident,
Oh,
and so
dang.
some folks are kind of weirded out about it, but I think it looks awesome. I'm also really interested in ghosts, which I think a lot of people would probably know about me, and I consider myself sort of a bit of a paranormal investigator.
All right.
I can do a lot of things. That's really sort of who I am.
There you
Though
go.
I think the
How
lawnmower
old
accident
is
was
Bobby?
defining.
Is she an older kid? Younger
I
kid?
think. Yeah, what was our limit? It was 16.
Yeah, about there.
I think she's like 14.
Okay. And
But
she's
like
she's
bigger
like-
than most of the 16-year-olds.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. I didn't see who was next, but does anyone else want to introduce their character next?
John, you want to go? We'll just do it in
Sure.
the order that we drew.
We'll go in the order. So like I said, my character's name is Buck McKenzie. He is a charismatic young 13-year-old boy. He has constantly carrying around. He wants to be a director / filmmaker / actor / stunt double. He's got just really wants to break out. He wants to get away from small town, whatever this name of this town is.
Gloom Bay.
Gloom Bay. Just really wants to get out of Gloom Bay. So constantly carrying around an old camera with him, constantly looking to kind of looking for an angle, looking for for his chance at success, as any 13-year-old does. I think that's. Let me see. I'm waiting for anything else that I can go through. I mean, he's really good at kind of fast talking, especially adults.
Okay.
It's really convincing. Also, I think what all the other kids in the group would know is that there was some sort of confusion between his parents when they got divorced. And for some reason, neither one of them lives in their house anymore most of the time. And he spends a lot of the time alone. in the house, taking care of himself, making himself mac and cheese and hot dogs on a regular basis. It's a little sad, but he doesn't look at it that way. And that's basically it for Buck.
That's Buck. All right.
Okay, here we go. I'm Grady Wesley, and I'm almost famous. Like, I've been in 2 kind of well-known movies. I even played a robot in one of them.
Wow.
I'm pretty good, because my parents know I make all this money doing movies or whatever, that they've kind of just given me mom's checkbook, and I kind of just write my own check to the world. Granted, the movies were a part of a lab experiment that I was a part of, and I've escaped the lab finally, so I don't know how much more money's coming in, but whatever. And randomly, I too was also scarred in a horrible lawnmower accident in the lab. It was pretty frightening. So
What's with the lawnmowers in this town?
You just act up, man.
Have you seen the movie Lawnmower Man? The 80s were weird, okay?
Is that the boss? Haunted lawnmowers.
Yes. I can pretty much ride anything. Roller skates, a horse, a bike, anything, I could do it. I'm pretty good at that. Old people think I'm charming as heck. I can usually get them to do what I want. I bust out a music line every once in a while that seems to really cut the tension. I can hide pretty well. I've got mild telekinesis, and this one makes me laugh. It says, you can move small objects with your mind. Nothing heavier than you can lift or much further away than you can reach. So it's not actually anything more useful than just having arms.
Just slightly.
I'm pretty much afraid that I'm going to end up back at the lab because of my mild telekinesis powers.
Mhm.
And I try and, diffuse tense situations, usually with a music line. I have terrible vision. If I lose my glasses, I'm blind. I can't do anything. And then I'm also a real wuss that I try to hide. Like, I have to be convinced to do something dangerous. So
All
that's
right.
me.
And how old is Grady?
Grady's probably, I'm going to say, like 12.
12. Okay. Does Grady know Bucky or Bobby, do you think?
Yeah. Well, not unless they were in the lab with me. I'm thinking I'm thinking I'm kind of an 11 situation here.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. All right. And Alex.
All right, I guess that comes to me now. So I will be playing Miles. Let's see some of the backstory. I mentioned it before, but I've got the all-time high score on the Atari 5600 game, Coat and Stabber, which I also carry a cartridge of that game around with me at all times.
Because you never know.
Yep. Let's see. So I'm going to jump ahead a bit and say I think... Oh, I should know this, but I think he's 12-ish, 12, 13. He's an 8th grader, so he's the toughest kid in his middle school. A loner outcast who most of my classmates are afraid of, but underneath it all, I'm pretty smart and kind of a sweetheart, but I'll never let them see it. Let's see. What else? I got this weird birthmark that looks like a thing. Let's see. I'm pretty good at wiggling my way out of places. I'm also pretty calm, got some nimble fingers. I have an encyclopedic knowledge of science fiction. So maybe I've seen Grady in the movies she was in.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm also pretty good with some tools. And I was a track and field star. We made state last year. What else? What
event do you think he was in?
I mean, he probably did the mile. The 1600 meters. Did some shot putting. Yep. Yeah, the kids gave me lots of grief over that. What else? No, he's not young Leopold. But let's see. Fire's the best. He's very fond of fire. And he's also super good at breakdancing, guys, and wants to show off all the time. He's
All
not good
right.
at breakdancing.
So would you say his breakdancing is also on fire?
He thinks it is, but it's not.
Wait, so did you also take the nimble fingers talent?
I think so.
Yeah.
Budding pickpocket. You can
Oh.
almost always snatch a wallet out of a coat pocket without getting caught, and you never
No.
pass up the chance to hone your skills.
I wasn't sure if you took the same one I did, because I was going to say that's a good backstory connection, because mine comes from playing video games. But fine.
I mean, you both play video games. Maybe
Yeah,
Yep.
that is. I
you guys
think
met once at the arcade and have like a little rivalry going on. Maybe.
I also
maybe.
forgot to say, because Sarah mentioned her character can ride everything, that I'm also an aspiring pro skater.
There you go.
Sweet.
Oh.
I can do, what does it say? You could do that thing where you hold onto a car bumper and cruise through traffic on your skateboard. So I'm super cool.
There was one thing I forgot to mention. I'm also about to be evicted from my house.
Uh-oh.
I forgot to mention that the evil real estate developers are going to build a golf course there, and I'm trying to earn enough money to buy it back.
There's no squatting rules in this state?
No, apparently not.
Yeah, I should mention, somebody asked earlier, but we are playing in the city of Gloom Bay, Oregon. It's a little town. Actually, let me pull it up. There's like a little write-up about Gloom Bay. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, does so now that you guys have all heard sort of each other's character stories, do you think there's any other like connections? Like, are there any siblings, or are y'all just friends?
I was thinking that
What do you guys think?
Miles and Buck would probably be good friends, because if you're into fire, I also don't have any pyrotechnics capabilities, so I think that would be a great connection for my movie, my budding film studio.
Oh, yes.
So I think
Sure.
that, yeah.
Yep, so that in the arcade.
And I was gonna say Grady, but if you just like escaped some secret lab, then I don't think, and we don't know you yet, then that'll probably be a reveal to happen in the game.
Yeah, I was thinking, if anything, I may have met Bobby on, she's out, skating around, and I've got a lovely pair of roller skates. And so when I, got my freedom, I'm like, I'm going to go and roll. And then maybe that's kind of how we make our
We
in.
met at the skate park.
I like it, yeah.
You just couldn't stay away from skate park.
And, we both were like, those scars look really similar.
Right?
And,
Really? A lawnmower?
My parents.
yes. So I think that's yeah. I think, Bobby and I are just kind of starting to be new friends, and let's do that.
I think I'm really attached to Grady. So, well, since that came up, I think this is an important backstory point for me to share, is that my sister has recently gone missing, and nobody knows what happened to her.
What's up with this town, man?
So, well, not recently. So my sister has gone missing, and she's been missing, and we don't know. So anytime anything weird happens, I think it's related to that somehow. But so maybe, I think of Grady as like my weird little sister.
I like it. And maybe I don't know, like, I haven't probably told you guys I escaped from a thing. I just moved to town, quote unquote.
Yeah, you're new here.
And maybe her sister, it sounds like maybe they could have taken her to the lab since I escaped.
I'm also trying to decide if I know the boys and if I'm their bully.
Ooh.
Or if I'm the one that protects them from the other bullies, because they sound like big nerds.
Well, if you're a bully, I do have the stiff upper lip talent, so I hate bullies, and I always stand up to them.
Yeah, I don't know.
So maybe you're like,
I don't
You're
think
the
I'm a bully because I
muscle
also like comics and stuff. Like, I have an eidetic memory and remember everything I read. 90% of which is comics.
Bobby seems like somebody that would be coming and hanging around in Buck's abandoned house. No parents, no rules.
Okay. I'll be the big scary muscle that like scares off the bullies.
There you go.
And now we're all friends.
Yes.
We're friends. Well, excellent. All right, I'm gonna bring up the little. Okay. All right, so I've got a little thing I'm gonna read. You guys are the worst. Like the literal worst. Not figuratively, the way some people say, ugh, that's the worst. No. You're actually the worst team at Lake Gloom Junior Space Adventure Camp. Basic astronaut math, your team failed the test. Beginner space science, all you had to do was grow one potato and you couldn't. Actually, you failed so badly that you killed a few of the other team's potatoes in the process. Astral navigation, the instructor had to ask if you actually knew what a star was, or if you were just lying. It was bad. It's been bad. And tomorrow is your last shot. You have to pass the test, or you're going to get sent home. So we begin our story tonight. You guys have all been attending the Lake Gloom Junior Space Adventure Camp for various for the past few weeks. You guys have been sort of going through sort of these fun like training exercises and learning how to be an astronaut. But as I said before, you guys are kind of the worst team. But there's this big test, and luckily, in one of your late night kitchen raids, to get some more astronaut ice cream, you noticed there was a large Campers Keep Out sign posted on the fence gate. So I feel like maybe Bobby, being the biggest kid, maybe got the munchies one night and maybe like snuck out and went to go get ice cream for y'all and noticed this sign. And so we're going to begin as Bobby has just returned, ice cream in hand, and has seen this sign that says Campers Keep Out. And so you guys are all, there's kind of, they used to be like summer camp little cabins, but they've been sort of like converted over and tried to look kind of cool and space agey. They kind of like painted over and tried to make it look less rustic, but you guys are all in this cabin together. Yeah, that is where we begin our story.
Man, whose idea was it to have astronaut camp in the woods?
I don't know, man. Where is I forgot your character's name. Is Bobby gonna get back soon? I'm really hungry.
I hope she gets the Neapolitan one. That's the only good one, because you get all 3 flavors.
Such gross.
Guys!
What is it, Bobby?
Hey.
2 things. 1, ice cream.
Yeah. Did you get the Neapolitan?
No.
Told you nobody likes that stuff.
They
Did you
didn't
get the strawberry?
have any. They didn't have any. It was just chocolate and vanilla.
Oh, they didn't have the coffee kind?
Rats!
What kind of place do you guys think this is?
I don't know. Adults live here, so I thought they'd want stuff.
It's the middle of the woods. Ice cream supplies are limited.
Well, thanks for going.
Alright, what was the second thing?
I saw this big sign that said, Campers, keep out. And I think we should not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically begging us to go in there.
Right?
I had an idea anyway. Okay. So we're doing really bad right now. Okay?
Yeah, we suck.
There was the potato stuff. We've all forgiven you for that, Miles. But I mean, honestly, I think that if we sneak into this place and we can get some, I got my camera, and we can get some choice footage while we're in there of some aliens or something. They got to be doing some secret testing or something in here. And if we can get something like that, then maybe we'll win. Right?
I mean, I was just thinking that maybe that's where they kept the test answers.
Or that works too.
I have an eidetic memory.
I don't know what that means.
I remember everything I read, which is like 90% comic books, but if I read the test answers, Bobby's got them.
Well, you don't think it's gonna be like dangerous to go? It says to keep out, so like, should we keep out?
It'll be fine. We can handle it.
Yeah, but like, I don't. I don't want to break the rules.
Come on, it'll be fine. If we run into anybody, I got this. We're good. Let's go.
Okay, well, if it gets hairy, I'm just gonna hide.
It's space camp. How hairy can it get?
You saw those things on Star Trek, man? The little Furby things?
Oh,
Of
man.
course, but I mean, as much as it would be awesome, Star Trek isn't real.
Wait,
So
I have a context question. Or were Furbies in the 80s?
No, I couldn't remember.
no, it's the trouble with
It was
tribbles.
the Tribbles.
Okay, I was like, what's a Furby? None of us were alive then.
But wait, we have a handout guide to 1985.
Oh shoot, we do.
Oh, I don't know if Furbies are on there though. I might have to Google it, guys.
Oh man,
Gremlins, like gremlins.
Yes.
Gremlins.
Don't
yeah.
feed them after dark. So no ice cream for the gremlins.
I totally know what those were because I was able to go see that movie because my parents took me. Let's go.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Okay. So your guys' oops. Hang on, I gotta do this really quick. Gotta make sure I got challenge cards for you guys. Okay. So your guys' cabin is kind of the furthermost away. It's also kind of the most dilapidated cabin. They kind of get nicer as you get closer to the central.
Or the reject cabin.
It's because they were afraid that Miles would burn it down.
I mean,
Ours is the asbestos cabin.
okay. And so you guys know that every once in a while, one of the counselors at the camp will sort of kind of like patrol around a little bit. And so I guess this is going to be one of our first Gale's challenges. And I don't know who wants to try to do this, but
I
this is
think
gonna
that's
be
me
to,
because I'm the Gale guy.
Okay, yeah, if you want to be the one. So you're going to kind of look around and see if you make sure the coast is clear, that there's no campers around. So you're going to roll 4 dice, and you just have to get at least 1 Gales is what you're shooting
Okay.
for.
So yeah, I don't know if this is. Remember, audience, none of us have played this before except for
Yeah.
Morgan. But
Yeah, so definitely
this-
ask questions.
yeah, is this something where it would be because that's my story, or the suit card, or is this something where it would be more if someone has an applicable talent?
Yeah, so because it's your suit card, you get a roll 4. If anybody else did it, they would just get to roll 3.
Okay, so
And then if there's like something in your backstory or a reason that you think you should get more than 4, you can sort of make your plea for that.
yeah, no,
But you just have to get 1, so
yeah,
it's
I mean-
it's not a too hard of a challenge.
I think my signature move could do something, but I don't need to. This is way too early to be pulling out my ult. So
Might-
46.
Maybe
That is
lower.
okay,
Just
so
as fast.
that's a fail, a flames, a gale, and a wild.
Okay, so because you got a wild, you get a reroll. You get to re-roll that dice. So you've already got 1, so you've already succeeded.
Mhm.
So just re-roll that one and see if you get another one.
Nope, a flames.
Okay, you just got a flames. Okay, but you did pass. Okay, so you kind of peek your head out, and you're looking around, and you see sort of like the flashlight that the counselor is holding, sort of like heading back towards like the main area. So you know that if you start going now, you can kind of sneak along behind them, and they won't see you.
Okay, so I'll do the sort of SWAT signals to the rest of the team, and it's like, okay, wait. Okay, go.
I'm in the back because I'm filming all this as we go.
All
I
right.
go, I'm pushing Grady along in front of me, like, go, come on.
I keep
Don't be a
looking for, like-
baby.
I keep looking for like the place where I can hide because I'm so nervous.
Oh man, which reminds me, I should like switch the music a little bit. Okay. There you go. You guys hearing that? Okay. All right, cool. I did it right. I set up the music right. Okay. So you guys are sort of sneaking along, and there's a few other cabins, but yeah, as I said before, the counselor is sort of like walking along, kind of like shines his light on the other cabins, kind of sees that it's all dark in there, because it's about 10 o'clock, like just barely past lights out, but it's not like crazy late at night. And you see like the counselor like walking up ahead, and then they turn off, and then they go into their own cabin. They have like a special cabin for the counselors. Yeah, and so you're like creeping along. And I should tell you a little bit more. So this camp is sort of located near Lake Gloom, which is kind of a largish lake, kind of surrounded by trees. It's a little bit outside of town, but not too far. And there is a legend that there might be like a Loch Ness monster in the lake, but legends, you know. But yeah, so you're going along and you're hearing like regular night sounds. I don't have any environmental stuff, but just picture it in your mind. Just a regular summer night in Gloom Bay, Oregon. And the fence that you, the sign that you had seen, I should say, Bobby, is not in sort of the main building that has like sort of a where all the classes are and like where the cafeteria is. There's like another side building sort of kind of off the ways next to it, and it's got that big fence around the building, and it's got that sign. There you go. For some reason the music stopped. There you go. Yeah. And so you guys kind of come up to the fence and you see it's got a big lock on it. There's a gate and it's got this big lock.
Any ideas?
I think I've seen somebody do this on a TV show once. Does anybody have a hairpin? No. Or wire.
I have
Come
a
on,
rock
man.
collection
I don't think that's what they use.
and a tennis ball.
I got a cap gun.
I do have the talent gadget inventor. It says I have any number of homemade Inspector Gadget style devices hidden on my person.
Okay.
I don't know if a lockpick would essentially be a gadget, or maybe if I have something, I might be able to that maybe I made for a different purpose in like movie, in like something I meant for like a little like sound maker or something like that, and I instead try to repurpose it to open this lock.
Okay.
I also have the nimble fingers ability, which means that I have years spent honing your video game skills has made your hands deft and dexterous. I don't know if the two of those would apply towards maybe helping me figure out some way to open this lock.
Okay. Yeah, I think definitely that'll work. And again, this is going to be a Gale's challenge, but okay.
I can try it unless somebody else wants to use it that might be better at this than me, but like I said, I've seen it on TV.
Okay. Well, yeah, so this is going to be a Gale challenge, Gale 2 challenge. So you have to get 2 Gales.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start out with, you got the 3 dice, and then you've got the nimble. So I say that gets you another one. Is anyone going to, like, trying to help you out, or, like, what? Are you just going to, like, go for it?
I'm trying to get people to help me, but nobody seems to be cooperating.
So, I mean, I'm a mechanical engineer, but the description doesn't seem to lend itself that much to knowing locks, but...
You're 12!
Yeah, I mean, but need to fix a mini bike engine real quick or rig a leaf blower to shoot holy water? Well, you've taken like 4 years worth of shot classes. Go for it. So I don't know if something in that would lend me to understanding the mechanisms of the lock.
Okay, yeah. So I bet like you kind of go over there and you kind of like put your ear up to the lock and kind of like are sort of listening while Bucky is sort of trying to finagle this. All right, so yeah, so I get I'll say that gets you another one. So roll 6.
6? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. And I need Gales.
Yes.
That second one is not a Gale. That is nope.
Oh,
I don't think
no.
that's
Okay, so you got one. Okay, so you got one Gale and a bunch of strikes, which yeah. So what happens is you're like kind of like you both are kind of like working together, kind of like figure out this lock, and you hear this like awful crack as the sort of like device that you had sort of like tried to finagle to like get this to unlock sort of breaks, and it's like stuck there in the lock now.
Well, crap.
maybe we should just climb it.
I could boost you over.
All right. Those I know you said something earlier about strikes. Like if you get multiple strikes, you get out. Are those the same strikes that get you out of the scene? Or...
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good point. Sorry. Yeah. So you're actually like the consequence is the device is now stuck in the lock, and then you take So Bucky, you just took a strike.
A strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just one. Yeah. It's not like they add up and all of a sudden you're like
I
out.
thought that meant 3 strikes. I'm out of the scene now.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I guess.
Sorry. I should have explained that better. So when you're presented with a challenge and you don't make the challenge, and then you also get get sort of an X, get a strike. That means that you get a strike to your character, and once you have 3 strikes on your character sheet, you're sort of out of the scene. You don't like die or anything, but there's like a consequence that you're out of this current scene. And
Okay.
yeah, so you do have a strike now because it.
Oh, and it updates on mine. Did you? So you put the
Yes.
strike on there? Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so you can see that. Yeah, you've got that.
I mean, that sucks, but that's cool.
A little bit. So yeah, and I'm trying to think how that thematically like works. Like maybe you're just like, maybe you got like a little cut on your finger too when this was happening. So you're like, ow, like I can't. It's hard. It's like not fun to touch things anymore right now for a minute. Like a awful paper cut or something.
God, I think it twisted my finger. Yeah, I mean, you can boost me over if you want.
All right.
All right, so you're helping him over. And it's just a simple like chain link fence, like about how tall are chain link fences? Like 6 feet tall? Are they taller? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Actually, they're probably a little taller. Yeah, 6 feet. Anyways. Yeah, and you kind of like look around, and there are there's a couple trees nearby, but otherwise, and then there's also like the building next door, kind of like adjacent to it. They're about like 10 feet from each other. Yeah, and so Bobby, you're gonna help Bucky and everybody over, just Bucky or Buck.
Buck.
Oh,
What do you
no,
guys
am
think?
I frozen?
No, we can still hear you.
What just happened?
Yeah, but your image did.
Alpha
Oh
Junior.
no.
Oh no.
I think we lost our Weaver. I don't know what we
We
call
might be
the
about
game
to
master.
lose her. Well, take a quick break while we try to get her back.
Okay.
Be right back, everybody.
Okay. Hey everybody, sorry about that. That's some technical difficulties. All right, we're gonna hop back in there. Okay, yeah. So is everybody going over the fence, or is just?
You guys want to climb it?
No.
Yeah, I think so. Is it you don't want to climb it because you don't want to go in, or you don't want to climb it?
No. We tried. We tried to get through the gate. It doesn't really work. So.
Where's your sense of adventure,
Yeah.
Brady?
What if there's like aliens in there?
I don't want to get stuck in a place. I don't like being stuck in places.
I mean, it's a fence. If we can't get back over, then we just yell for help. It's fine.
Also, chain link fences are good for climbing. Come on, Grady, don't be a baby.
Hey, I'm not a baby. I just don't like to. Fine. Help me up.
Yay! Start boosting her over the fence.
Okay, yeah. And I will make you guys roll for this one because this is what you're good at, is lifting people over. Okay, so who's going first?
I think it was Buck first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Buck's
I gotta
first.
go. It's a better shot from the other side if I see you all coming over. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to get it for the shot.
And then I find myself over.
All right, perfect.
Oh wait, I just read, so with the track and field thing, so you're always trying to solve your problems by pole vaulting is one of the things. So I'm gonna try and somehow pole vault over the fence.
All
Or
right.
it may just be get a running jump and Bobby, boosts me that way.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so you look around, and yeah, you could get a running start and kind of alley-oop over the fence, as it were.
Yep.
All right, perfect. So Bobby, you're ready for it, and Miles comes running at you.
It's a flip in the air.
Doing a flip. I am gonna make you roll for this one, Miles.
Okay.
To see how awesome you land, basically. I'm gonna
Sure.
say that you can do it, but let's see how awesome. So this is just a one challenge, so a Gale's 1. So you just have to get 1 and you get to roll 4 dice for that, because you're good at Gales.
And I got no Gales. And there's 1 strike in there.
You got no Gales and a strike. Okay, well, you don't get a strike to your character sheet because it's the thing that you're good at, so you can't. But we're gonna say that as you sort of are leaping epically over the fence, your back foot sort of catches the top of the fence and it kind of throws you off, and you hit the ground real hard, almost face planting it. You kind of sort of tuck and roll, but because of
And I
your,
immediately go into I try and salvage it by doing what I think is my awesome breakdancing, but it's terrible. It looks like I'm just flailing on the ground.
Oh god, I think he's having a seizure, guys.
Oh
No, it's fine. I'm doing my sick dance moves. I'm breakdancing.
Oh. Yeah,
Because that's breakdancing music.
guys, I think he hit his head.
Yes.
no! That's a dance move. Yeah.
Yep. So my flaw, you think you're a lot better at breakdancing than you actually are. The truth is you are not that good at breakdancing, but sometimes you can't help but show it off.
yeah, and you just could not help yourself. This was your moment after that epic leap and just sort of landing it, kind of scooting around on the ground, but you didn't have that cardboard, so it wasn't as a good spin as you would have liked, but it was okay, I guess. Okay.
Well, I guess it's my turn. Okay. This can't be. I'll just ride the fence or something, because that's what I'm good at. Yeah. So I'll climb the fence, sort of. some
Okay,
way.
perfect. Yeah, you kind of scrabble over, and it takes a minute. You kind of wobble for a second at the top, and you're like, oh no. And then you kind of put your other leg down, and you kind of scoot down the other side. Okay. And then Bobby.
I'm just gonna climb, but once everybody's over the fence, before I climb over myself, I will look over my shoulder and take one really good look to make sure that no robots are following me. Because part of my backstory is programmed for friendship. You're being relentlessly stalked by a lovable, useless robot. But I hate this
That's
thing,
really me.
and I don't want it around. So
Okay, yeah, and you haven't seen it for a couple days. It's sort of you saw it when you first got to camp. You saw what looked like that creepy little robot that keeps following you around, but you haven't seen it in a couple days, so you're feeling okay.
good. I climb over the fence.
Okay. And you guys see this other building, and it's a lot nicer and like newer than the other building now that you're kind of like up close. And there's like a little bit there's a little bit of light coming. There's there's like some lights on the side of the other building that sort of like are like kind of lighting up this other secondary smaller building. Yeah, and as you guys have like can now get up close, you're like, this is kind of a nicer a little bit nicer building, a little bit newer looking. And as you get up, you can see there's no windows actually on the building, and the door looks as you're like getting close, it kind of looks a little intense. It's like this big steel heavy door with this big sort of like turning handle on it, almost like a submarine.
I told you it's a secret military base. No, I think the lighting's better on this side. And I kind of walk like 20 yards over so I can get a better shot of the building.
Get me in the shot, but the side with the scars.
Yeah, Nisha, actually, if you want to be in the shot, you got to move a little bit over that way.
Okay,
a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm actually getting her out of the shot. And then I get the shot.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Just stand there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool shot. Like, this is gonna be awesome for like a sci-fi film you're working on.
Yeah.
You're legit.
All right, that's all I needed.
So should we go in?
Well, yeah.
No.
Why are you even here?
You can go back to the den if you want, Grady.
Come on, guys. Like, why are you mad at me? It's just, isn't anybody else creeped out by this? Like, what are we doing? Do we know what we're looking for?
Cool stuff, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Also, I mean, if I was a space camp, I would lock up the answers to the tests behind like a big door.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're looking for the test stuff so we don't fail space camp.
Yeah. Or aliens. I mean, we're already failing. I mean, they're gonna kick us out anyway. Might as well have some fun while we're here.
And I mean, it's not like this is school. It's just space camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, will this make you feel better? I pull out one of the things in my inventory. I have a bag of peanut butter candies. And I hand you one. Say, here.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do the. Okay, we can go in the big scary door.
Put the rest of the candies away. They have no functional value. I just have it.
Okay, yeah. So Bobby, so you go over to sort of it. It kind of like sticks for a second, but you kind of like tense up and you're like, I got this, and you kind of and it creaks a little bit as you do so, but it does open. It's like it's like slowly turning, and there's a thud and sort of this like wisp of air actually that you hear sort of coming out from the door, like the sides of the door. There's kind of like and then it so you turn it and then it sort of like starts to swing open.
That really should be the door with the lock on it.
Yeah, that was really easy to get in. All right.
Well, clearly this means they want people to get in and go see it. I mean, why else would you leave a big secret door like this actually unlocked?
Right?
So,
Well, if they
again,
want people,
the sign, they're inviting us in.
that's a lot less exciting. All right. All of you go in first.
Okay. Yeah, who's going in first?
Me.
Okay, Bobby. Yeah, so as you look and you kind of see, it's kind of dimly lit in here. There's kind of like some lights along the floor. And it's just kind of like a long hallway for a bit, and there's like some doors like a little bit further down. And actually as you first walk in, on the left-hand side along the wall in sort of there's this sort of these big red letters, and you can't really, I mean, you think they're letters. They're not like English. But yeah, you see in like these big red letters, and then there's like a star, and it's like on the wall.
You nerds know any other languages?
Does it look like anything I would have come across in my encyclopedic knowledge of science fiction?
Yeah, so man, I want to check when this movie.
So the actual text is, if the strange occurrences around Gloom Bay bear any similarities at all to classic science fiction, you definitely read a comic or saw a movie where the exact same thing happens, so you'll totally see it coming.
Yeah, so you like think about it and you're like, I think that's Russian?
It's this Red October or Red Dawn or whatever it is.
Something. But yeah, that kind of looks like Russian. Like you've seen a couple comic books that's got like an evil Russian villain.
Okay. Wait, guys, Space Camp is being run by communists. They're training us not to be astronauts, but cosmonauts. That's Russian.
Is that bad?
What's a communist?
It's the Russians. It's the Cold. Do you not pay attention to the news? It's the Cold War.
Oh yeah, my dad watches the news all the time.
That's the guy with the weird thing on his head, right? Like he's bald and he's got the mark on his head. Gorbachev or something.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I don't know. He's on the news all the time.
So the teachers here are evil, is what you're saying.
Basically, I mean, who else would be speaking Russian?
That makes a lot of sense.
What if the Russians are aliens?
Alien Russians. Now that's exciting.
No, like they're Russian, but they're secretly aliens.
Well, should we look around?
Yeah.
Yep. Just for the record, I can't read that. I just know that's the Russian alphabet. Or the Cyrillic alphabet, excuse me.
Nerd.
Nerd.
Okay. Yeah, and so down this hallway, there's a like 10-15 feet down. There's two doors that sort of face each other on either side of the hallway. And then you go down and there's like another set of doors, and then there's like a door on the very far end of this building. And it's just like this hallway with the lights kind of leading up to it, and just the doors is what you see.
Well, if we're looking for test scores, they're probably in an office, so we should find some office space.
All right.
Okay. I start opening doors.
All right. Kick that one open. It'll be a good action sequence.
Okay. Back up, haul off, and kick the door.
Okay. I'm gonna have you do a stones check for this one. For being strong and kicking down this door. So let's see. So you'll roll 3, and then because you're good at stones, actually, so you'll roll 4. And unless you,
I have something for this.
Oh, all right. Tell.
I have a talent called Crane Kick. Oh wait, this is
yes.
the one I read earlier. Yeah, I can, as long as my opponent stands in front of me motionless, waiting to prepare, which I assume the door will do.
It's pretty stationary.
I can balance on one foot and execute an elaborate kick attack that is absolutely devastating. I would like to crane kick the door. I knew it would come in handy.
It does indeed. All right, so you get sort of centered. You sort of like bring yourself. You kind of breathe in, and you bring in that karate knowledge that you have, and you get ready, and you kick that door.
How many do I roll?
So I'm gonna say you get a roll 5, and you just have to get 1 to succeed.
I got one, I think.
Hey, you got 1. Actually, and you got 2 wilds.
Ooh.
So you got 3 successes. So that's 2 above the one that you're supposed to get. And so now roll 2 more, because those wilds you get to re-roll and see if you get more stones.
Nope.
Okay. No. Okay, but you're still 2 above the 1 that you had to get. So you actually get to tell me now what happens, because this is an epic pass.
Okay.
So describe to us what happens.
So I think I've been training my entire life for this moment. So I will center myself in front of the door, turn to the side, and like almost so fast that you can't believe it, I do like 3 well-placed kicks, 1 towards each hinge on the door, and then 1 on the knob where it will swing open, and just like knock it open, like almost like break the hinges of the door and knock it like completely off.
All right. So you guys watch, and Buck, this is pretty awesome on camera. You just see this like epic, like you don't know where this came from, but the sudden speed and intensity that Bobby kicks down this door, and it just like slams to the ground.
The guy almost like dropped the camera there for a moment. Bobby?
Did you get it?
Well, yeah, I got... When did you become a ninja?
I trained in karate my whole life.
We need to do more of that.
Yeah, like 15 years.
You're some sort of like karate kid.
There was a stunt double that couldn't even do that on Short Circuit on that movie that I was on. It was really good. That was awesome.
I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, and so now, Bobby, as you kick down this door, you can now see into this room, and it's actually like lit in this room. There's some like fluorescent lights on the ceiling, and you kind of look into this room, and you see sort of across the way there's like a few some desks in here, a few of which have like there's sort of some kind of mechanical looking things on a couple of desks. But in the far corner of the room, you see this girl sort of sitting out at the desk, and she's got these like big headphones on. She's just sort of like bobbing her head, like listening to some music, and she's sort of like writing some stuff down. She's like she's an older looking girl, and she's got the coolest pink hair you've ever seen. Yeah, and so there's and she's the only one in this room, but she's just sort of like listening to her music and sort of like bobbing and sort of like writing some stuff.
Does she look like any of the counselors?
Yeah, so you sort of like think about it, and yeah, you haven't seen a girl with pink hair before. And she's kind of she's a little bit younger than some of the counselors. She looks like maybe like she's 19 years old. And yeah, you haven't seen her before, but she's sort of like her back is turned toward you guys. And she's wearing sort of this like white like lab coat. And so, but she's like kind of listening to her beats, and you get the sense that because of that, she did not hear the slamming of this door coming off his hinges.
Maybe I should go talk to her. See what's going on. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check out one of these mechanical doodads.
I mean, she might just try to kick us out.
That's a good point.
I hide under one of the tables.
All right.
I didn't think anyone was actually going to go for that idea, but if they are, Buck is going to walk up to kind of putting the camera to the side a little bit, kind of walks up and sort of leans on the, again, 13-year-old boy, leans on the table next to her and says, so what you doing?
Yeah, and so you kind of see like she's sort of like really into this music and like doesn't notice you for a second, but then like sort of like turns and then kind of like whoop, and like takes off for a little. And And they're like, takes off the headphones. You're like, who are you?
Oh, I was here on a tour with my parents. They're senators, and they said I could walk around, and I just kind of walked my way in here. The door's open, so we thought we'd just look around.
Yeah, and she sort of like looks at you and she's like,
I do
Did not
have.
know we were having the senators here today, but all right.
I do have the ability. I think it's a flaw, actually, compulsive liar. But I also have fast talker, so I hope that cancels it out. I say,
Depends on your perspective.
So what do you do here?
Oh, I'm just one of the researchers here, just kind of and she kind of like shows you, she's got like these really detailed, like very scientific looking notes, and they kind of just like tons of math and like all sorts of things in this like little tiny, like very like tiny scrawl, and it's just like, and she's got like a few books around her actually, and she's got like a couple of them open, and looks like really complex stuff. But yeah, she's like, I'm just one of the researchers here.
It's a lot of numbers. I'm actually in advanced geometry myself, so I know a thing or two about some of this. So what are you researching exactly?
Oh well, I mean, do you have a security clearance for that?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I wish I could tell you, but
No, I do. My as part of our as part of my clearance to get in here, I think it's Delta Onyx Omicron 6 clearance.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to roll for this one. This is a blatant lie.
Yeah.
Hang on. None of my.
I'm trying to debate whether I should use my signature move for this one. I do have the signature move. I don't know if it'll apply here, but you have the uncanny ability to garner sympathy from adults and can warm heart and can warm hearts through even the gruffest exterior. Use it sparingly, blah, blah, blah. For any Brooks challenge, you gain up to 2 additional dice, re-rolling all strikes.
Okay.
This feels like the only... I don't know if this will be the only time I get the chance to use this.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm trying to... Okay, wait.
And these are the ones we can only use once per game.
Yeah. Okay, for some reason it's not... Okay. Sorry, it's like not... Okay, do you guys see this card that I just put down?
See the back of it.
Okay, but it's not flipping to the front. Okay, well anyways. Okay, so this is like a Brooks 3 challenge.
Okay, I'm going to use it for this one. This feels appropriate.
For some reason it's not displaying that that's what it is.
Yeah. So I'll use, if I can use it, because I think it's more so, it just the way
Yeah, so tell me what it says again?
Because it says, the move is called Melt All the Hearts. You have the uncanny ability to garner sympathy from adults and can even warm heart cockles through even the gruffest exterior. Even use it sparingly, though. You'll have to wait to replenish those crocodile tears. So the way it describes it is more like crying, but I would make the argument that I am using my cute demeanor of a 13-year-old,
Yeah.
trying to gain some sympathy. Maybe she doesn't believe the numbers that I'm telling her, but maybe she'll tell me anyway. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is I think that this is a good use of that signature move.
And then I also have the talent fast talker.
Okay. So I think so if you go onto your thing, you should I don't know if it's like a checkbox or
signature move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll
click that.
activate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Ours
what?
buzzed when you did it.
Yep.
Yeah, so everybody's phone just got a little notification when you just did that. And I'm going to say, because I don't remember specifically the rules on this, because not a lot of people use their signature moves for some reason when I played, but this is a good use of it. And so we're going to just say that you defeat that challenge. So yeah, so she just like, she kind of like looks at you for a second, is kind of confused, and she's like, aren't you just the cutest? Oh my goodness, like, those are not the right numbers, but I'm pretty sure I know what you were trying to say. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I can tell you a little bit about what's going on here. I cannot do a Russian accent, but pretend in your minds that suddenly she has an accent that's Russian. And she's like, we've been here for a while, and we've been trying to train the other kids at this camp to become cosmonauts. And we've been testing them using this robot that we have, and not too many of the kids have actually passed, but we've been sort of studying how the small adolescent body is able to react to G-forces and all of the sort of things that a good cosmonaut would need to explore, and this is the perfect training ground for such a thing. So that is what I am studying here.
That is amazing. Yeah, I had heard a little bit about that. That's one of the reasons parents brought me here, talking about space camp and stuff. So where's this robot?
Oh, well, down the hallway, if you go to the door at the end, you have to put in the passcode, but I can tell it to you if they didn't tell it to you.
I wrote it down, and I think I lost the paper that I wrote. I actually think that's where I'm supposed to meet them once I'm done here. So that would be great if you could give that to me.
Okay. And yeah, she like rips off a little piece of her paper and like writes down this passcode and like hands it over to you. And it's just like it's like a series of like 8 numbers, and then a couple of like weird symbols on the end. Yeah, so she like hands that over to you. You're like, yeah, you should definitely check out the robot. It's probably the coolest thing here.
I definitely will. Well, thanks. So I'll let you. We'll let you get back to it then.
Yeah, and she like turns and she like finally notices all the other kids. Well, so she probably notices Bobby and Miles, who has been like, you were looking at the mechanical stuff, right?
Junior Secret Service.
Ah, yes. Well, it's important to have bodyguards, you know.
It is. Especially when you're as high profile as we are. And I don't think, what was your name again?
Oh, my name is Marisha.
Marisha. Well, it was great talking to you, Marisha. I love the hair. And we'll go ahead and leave you then. And I give her a wink, and then I go walking back to the rest of the group, kind of holding the numbers like, dudes.
That was sick.
It's not her phone number, but I think it's just as important.
Are you sure it's not her phone number?
I'm gonna try.
Maybe it's
it
her
later.
pager number. How
Maybe.
many numbers did pagers have?
I don't know.
But as we all turn to leave, I'm going to use my budding pickpocket ability and just kind of pocket the mechanical dude Hickey I was messing with.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and so you were sort of like looking at this, and there was like a couple like circuit boards, and like a one that's sort of like connected, and it's got it's like connected to this base, and it's got like this little arm that sticks out, and it's got like a couple buttons on it, and yeah, you sort of just like pocket that thing. Don't know what it does, but that's cool looking. Yep.
Does
So, yeah.
her lab coat look anything like the lab that I escaped from?
Let me check your notes. I mean, like it's similar, but I mean, it looks familiar, but it doesn't look like in that the fact that it's like a lab coat, but it doesn't look like the ones that you saw around.
Cool. Okay.
Does it have like the armband thing on the side?
Okay. I'll try and be I'll try and sneak out of my hiding spot so I can join the rest of the group.
Scurry. Yeah, and she's just sort of like put her headphones back in and is just like going back to the beats. Are you guys just gonna leave this door on the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I can't really put it back.
I'm
Yes,
true.
I'm 13. I don't think that far ahead. Let's go.
Yep.
Got it. All right. Yeah, and you stroll through this open doorway, passageway. All right, so yeah, now you're back in the hallway, and there's like a door across the hallway facing you, and then again, like she said, if you turn to your left, there's like a door at the very end.
That's the door. Robot in there that does things, trains kids to be astronauts. We could learn to be astronauts. We could win science camp. If the robot taught us how to be astronauts, we'd be so much better at all this stuff.
She said cosmonauts, though.
Which are the
What's the
bad
difference?
ones? They're the Russians. They're the communists.
The Russian aliens.
Okay, so we steal its secrets and use it to become astronauts?
We could be heroes. If we learn all the Russian secrets and then take them back to our astronauts, I feel like I saw a movie about this.
Yep. Yeah, definitely did. It's
Grady, weren't you in it?
No, that wasn't the one I was in.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because I want to win space camp.
Yeah, me too.
we'll be the best at space.
And maybe we'll be like spies.
But should we see if there's anything in that other room before we go to the robot room, just to see if there's like test stuff? Or do we think it matters anymore?
I kind of want to see the robot.
I don't think there's going to be anything cooler in any of these rooms than a
Okay,
robot.
let's go get the robot.
Wait. Before we go in, not all robots are cool.
I played one on TV or on a
You want
movie.
a not cool robot?
Yeah. There's sort of this robot that follows me around.
Well, maybe. Is it the same robot, you think?
No, it's totally useless and just like wants hugs and to be friends.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
doesn't
me.
sound so bad.
I was
But
in
it's
my movie costume.
I don't think it was you.
Are you sure?
I'm
Because I dress
pretty
up
sure.
sometimes.
Yeah, but you're sort of cool, Grady. When you're not
Well-
hiding under stuff. But I'm just saying, as a warning, not all robots are cool, so just be careful, because you're all kind of little nerds.
Well, maybe we steal this robot's secrets and you train your robot to be cool.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's how
Why
we win
is that?
space camp.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, let's do it.
We can do this. We got this.
All right, so I have the code for the door, or you can kick it down again.
Well, I'm just thinking if the robot turns out to be really bad, maybe we want a door we can shut.
Okay.
Wait.
Well,
Robots can be dangerous?
Have you seen a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played one in TV. I was very nice. Or in a movie. I was a very nice robot.
well, only half of them are dangerous. The other half are okay, and they all transform into cars. So I think we're okay.
That's true.
Okay. This is a car one. I know it. We're fine.
Mhm.
Maybe it transforms into a spaceship.
Oh, that we can fly?
We gotta find out. Let's punch in the code.
I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't. Okay, let's go. I don't know what these things at the end mean.
Well, you just gotta
So do-
match them, right?
All right.
Okay, yeah, and so you go up to this door, and it's very imposing. And it's got off to the side. It's got like this like control panel that's got like all of these buttons on it. But you do kind of looking at the weird symbols. You kind of see them also on the keypad. So you're like, okay, I think I got this. And so you like go in and you like punch each of the numbers in. And it kind of like makes this beeping noise as you click each number. And then as you hit like the final weird symbol, there's this like release of air again, and there's sort of this sort of like whistling noise, and the door starts to like slowly like move to the right and kind of like goes into the wall, and you see into this dark room. And I think this might be a good spot to take a break for a minute.
That does sound like a good spot to take a break.
I like it.
Yeah. All right.
We can do that.
Okay, cool.
When should we be back?
I don't know, like a 10-minute break. That's what we normally try to do, right?
Yeah. Shoot for 10, come back 20. Who knows?
Yeah.
We'll be back in 10-ish minutes.
Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna continue our adventure of Weave that we're playing right now. Our characters just entered a mysterious room, and yeah, so that's where we're gonna begin. So you guys kind of see as this door slides open after you just input the secret code. You see like a really spacious, kind of dimly lit room. There's like some lights, like a couple of lights are on, so you can kind of see that it's like a very large room that's kind of got some pieces of equipment that you guys actually kind of recognize from your times here at Space Camp. There's sort of like a G-Force machine sort of off to the right, and off to the left there's like some computer banks that you guys, similar to ones that you guys have used, sort of testing your navigation abilities and to use the computer system. And then farther beyond, you see sort of what looks like kind of like a fish tank further against the down a ways. It's just sort of some sort of weird glass tank that has some sort of liquid in it. But yeah, kind of looks vaguely like a fish tank maybe. And that's what you see in this room. You don't notice any adults or anything in here, anybody else in here, but it is sort of dimly lit. So that's what you guys see as you enter this room.
I don't see any Russian cosmonaut robots.
I don't either.
What's in that tank?
Can't be a robot. Robots can't go underwater.
Maybe they're testing super small submarines.
Maybe there's a submarine with a robot in it.
Ooh.
Let's go look.
Okay. Yeah, and as you guys are sort of walking up there, Bobby, you feel something bump you in the back of the leg. And you turn around, and it's that dang little robot.
You.
Wait, what?
And you guys turn and look, and you see this sort of weird, it kind of is shaped like a helmet, but it's got these little wheels on it. And there's this little like round centerpiece that kind of looks like a camera lens. Bucket, kind of like was what that looks like, and you see this camera lens, but it's sort of rounded, this dome shape. Yeah, almost vaguely looks like a weird little helmet that's got little wheels on it. And yeah, as you address it, you guys see a couple lights up on top of it turn on, like a red and a green and a yellow light, and they sort of like flash for a second, and you guys suddenly see this man appear before you, sort of like floating above this weird little robot. And yeah, Bobby, you've seen this guy once before. His His name is John. And he's like talked to you a couple times. And he's always been really annoying. But yeah, this sort of man appears before you, and he's sort of wearing like a fancy suit. And is just sort of like a plain looking dude. And just suddenly this dude is like floating in the air above this weird little robot.
Not again.
So
Bobby?
who's this Princess Leia guy?
What do you want, John?
He sort of like turns and he's like, "Hello again, Bobby. Greetings. It has been a long time. I could not find you for a while."
Those were the happiest days of my life.
"What are you doing here?"
Trying to find a cooler robot than you.
"But I am very cool. My temperature sensors keep me at a nice 30 degrees."
I told you guys this robot was the worst.
Said it gave hugs? I don't see it giving hugs.
No, it wants hugs. It wants
If it's,
friends.
"Does anyone want a hug?" And he like sort of like lifts his arms.
if it's a cool 30 degrees, then that must be it's as cold as ice, and it's willing to sacrifice.
Brady?
Wait, are you the Russian cosmonaut robot?
"I do not know about a Russian cosmonaut robot. I am just Bobby's friend."
We're not friends.
Where did you come from?
And he sort of looks like he's like thinking for a minute. "I think that is classified."
What was your code?
My
Buck? Yeah, what was your security clearance code? Maybe he needs that so we can.
yeah. Well, you see, my father is a senator, and I have clearance code Delta Omicron 6
Onyx.
Beta Onyx clearance.
Clearance.
And you see sort of like his face fall for a minute as what you think is like the thinking face of this robot just sort of like gets like deadpan like, and then looks up at you again, like sort of like smiles creepily like, "That is not the correct passcode. But do you want a hug instead?" He sort of like wheels over closer to you. And it's kind of weird because like the legs don't walk. It just sort of like rolls closer. So you just see this like,
Have you ever given it a hug?
No, it's creepy. It follows me around. It never asked me if I wanted to be its friend.
It's asked you a few times if you want to be its friend.
It just started following me around.
Let's say I'll be your friend, little robot, and I'll give him a hug.
Yeah, and so you guys sort of see as this man sort of like reaches down and like awkwardly sort of embraces Bucky, and Buck, you don't feel anything, but you like see as like these like it looks like his hand like goes through you for a second. It's like, what is this? And yeah, Miles was accurate when he made that reference to the War of the Stars. In that you realize that this is a hologram.
Oh, not a ghost. Good.
It gets all like pixely for a second when you like when you interact and touch with it.
I am a paranormal investigator. I think I would have known if it was a ghost.
Right. Well, that was weird. Okay, so we still need to find the cosmonaut robot.
And yeah, after John hugged you, he like sort of stood back up and he's like, "What do you need from me, new friend?"
We need your help to find a cosmonaut robot.
Don't encourage him.
But he's clearly got advanced sensors to see us and make this hologram. He probably has enough sensors to find another robot.
Yeah, you know robots. Go find us another robot.
And you see like the little lights on the top of the dome sort of like light up and kind of like do a little pattern. And he says, "All right," and then just like disappears. You see this like little robot sort of like kind of runs into you for a second, a couple times.
Okay. I have to move out of his way.
And then just like goes around, and kind of like winds its way around and goes up to some of the equipment. And you guys sort of watch as it sort of like stands in front of, like, it doesn't stand, it's a little robot. It kind of wheels its way up to these different devices and computers around the room. And you see like the little lights on top sort of flash a little bit, and it makes like a beeping noise. And then it like goes over to another one, kind of, again, sort of, it's there, lights flash up, makes a beeping noise. But then it goes over to the tank. And it sort of sits there for a minute and lights up, and then makes like a different beep noise that sort of sounds like a happy chirp. And then you guys see John appear again. He's like, "This is a robot," and like points to the tank.
No, it's a fish tank.
"No, this is a robot."
I mean, I normally wouldn't take his side, Buck, but he is a robot, so I think maybe he would know.
Buck, maybe that's the robot that transforms into a fish tank instead of a car or a spaceship.
All right. Well, I guess go talk to it or something. I'll film. This isn't gonna work, but fine.
I'll walk up and say, "Hi, Mr. Fish Tank Robot Man."
Yeah, and so you get up to the tank, and now that you're up there, you can kind of see like there's like sort of like these tubes kind of up on top and sort of like tubes down below, and there's like a some bubbles that come up every once in a while. And yeah, as you get closer, you can see there's like this little this sort of round sort of disc in the bottom of the tank. And kind of looks like a shutter a little bit, and you see like the shutter open up, and suddenly some lights come on in the room, like it suddenly gets like a little bit brighter, and you guys see this shape sort of rise out of this this hole that was now in the tank, and you see like a humanoid shaped creature. There's like metal. It's like a weird menagerie of like metal and sort of this like nasty green colored flesh. But it's like person shaped. But it's got where like the face would normally be, there's sort of this like metal sort of helmet looking thing. But you can kind of see like in the bits of flesh in between like the metal, it's just like weird green color and kind of scaly looking, but you see this sort of like this thing sort of like rise up out of there and is sort of like floating in the water.
Oh my god, the Russians captured the thing from the Black Lagoon and turned it into a robot!
You guys remember when I said Russian alien robots?
We don't know if it's Russian. It hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah, and as you guys are sort of talking amongst yourselves, you hear this voice in your head that just says, "Who wakes me up? Who
Your
are
new
you?"
master.
And it sort of like turns, because you got up all close to the tank, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It sort of like turns to like face you in a way, and it sort of like hunches over and like looks at you, and you see like the black part of like this helmet, because it's kind of like a motorcycle helmet, kind of is what like looks similar to you. You see some lights kind of dance across it, and it makes makes this face. These lights light up in this pattern. And it's a frowny face.
Why do you frown at your master?
And you like hear this voice in your head again. It's be like, you are not my master. Who are you? And it's creepy because you guys all hear this voice in your head.
Yeah, that's not weird at all, but tell you what, Mr. Robot, we may not be your masters right now, but you're still a robot and we're humans, and so you have to listen to what we say, because that's the third law of robotics. Or no, that's the second law of robotics.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, Miles, it sort of looks at you and sort of like cocks his head and makes like a question, like the lights change again and it makes a question mark face.
Gosh, I mean, Asimov was Russian. They should have thought to program this in. Okay. We're here because we're kind of terrible at space camp, which is where we are, where you are, and we thought maybe you could help us win space camp.
Yeah, and you see like the question mark sort of like disappear for a minute, and you just see like these lights sort of like flashing for a little bit, and then it stops flashing and the screen just goes black, and then the creature sort of like descends back into that hole. And then you guys hear sort of what sounds like some creaking, and some some air pressure and all sorts of like these weird like mechanical noises, as like the water in the tank starts to drop. And it's just like goes down and down.
That can't be good.
I officially hide.
Okay. Yeah, and as like the water started to go down, there were like some lights came on around the room, but they were like these red lights, sort of like emergency lights looking, and they're sort of like rotating, and there's sort of this like weird flashing going on because these like lights have turned on. And you guys also start to hear this sort of a emergency siren that you guys have probably heard before in your in school when you've been prepped for atomic attacks.
Bomb drills?
Yeah, bomb drills. You start hearing that noise.
Well, we get under the desks, right?
Yeah, you get under the desk, get under the desk!
In here.
Yep. Duck and cover.
So you guys all duck and cover. Yeah, and then like a few seconds later, like the siren like stops going off. But I wish I had like a siren noise. Yeah.
Wow, they'd be so proud of us at school right now.
Yeah. But then so the siren stops, but the lights are still going off, and it's like it's very eerie because it's like this red light that keeps sort of flashing. And then suddenly from a door that you guys didn't notice earlier, that's sort of off and to the left, this door sort of opens up. And you see this humanoid shape, much larger than like the creature that you just saw. But you see like it's covered, it's like completely metal, but it's still got that same sort of like helmet face that you guys saw before. And you guys hear this like sort of this hydraulic noise as this creature starts walking over towards you guys.
I trained my whole life for this moment!
Okay.
Fighting Russian robots?
For fighting anything, man!
Okay, and yeah, so I guess what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna have everybody roll 3 3 dice to see who. This is sort of like initiative, just to see. This is not necessarily combat, but just to see like who is reacting first, kind of thing. So if you guys each just roll 3 dice, and we'll see. Okay, so. All right, so you 3 all got 1. Okay, so Grady, you will be the last to act, I guess. And then Bobby and Miles roll 1 more die because you guys both got a while to see. Okay, that wasn't helpful at all, but all right. So I guess you guys are. So the 3 of you are going to kind of act as the same time, and then Grady is going to be after that, which makes sense because Grady does not like to get in on the action. It thematically works. Okay, so this robot is thunk, thunk, coming towards you. What are you guys doing?
What do we do, nerds?
So, Miles is calm in the face of danger. It takes more than a life or death situation to rattle your nerves. So he has a plan. He goes over, he picks up the John robot, and doing his shot, like it's a little bigger than a shot put should be, but is going to do the twirl and chuck it at the robot that's coming towards us.
Oh, yes. Perfect. Okay, okay, this is gonna be, because it's not very heavy. So we're gonna say this is a Stones 1 challenge. As you're gonna we're gonna see how hard you hug this little robot. So you get 3, and then I guess, you were saying you were calm in the face of danger, so I guess that gets you like another die because you're like.
And then I am a track and field star.
Yeah, and you're track and field, so you're used to that. So I'm gonna say you have 5 that you can roll with.
What is that? Shot put?
Yep. No stones and 2 strikes.
Oh
so
no!
Strike, gale, fire, strike, fire.
All right, so
Take it that's a stone challenge strike for me.
that is okay. So what happens? You go to like lift up John, and it's like it's heavier than it looks. Like you'd think a shape that small wouldn't be as heavy. I mean, but you're really like used to like shot putting heavy items. So you lift it and you sort of like get ready. And right as you sort of like spin around and you're like getting your momentum, and right as you go to throw it, one of the little wheels actually like catches on your shirt and it like knocks you over. So you're not on the ground. That kind of hurt.
Yep.
Who's going next? Bucky or Bobby? What are you guys doing? You see like Miles is like running over to like grab the robot, but you haven't quite seen him biff it yet.
I'll
Go kick
protect
it.
you. I have so many talents for this. I
hear
have
it.
Berserker, which is
Okay.
if life is a highway, then you want to ride it with a huge truck down the road, pushing everybody off the road. You drive your point home, mainly with your fist. So, I guess I'm just gonna punch a robot.
All right. We're gonna say this is a Stones 1 challenge. You're gonna
I feel like
punch this robot. And so I say, so you got the 3, and then you have another one because you're good at stones, and then your talent of life is, what was the name of that one?
Berserker.
Berserker. So I say you get 5.
I feel like can you use a flaw to give yourself an extra dice?
Why do you say that?
Because I have a flaw, which is excessively competitive. Which is, when any of the other players do something, you feel the need to prove that either you can do it better, or it's a stupid thing to be good at, and you're better at everything that counts. So I feel like if I see Miles going to, like, fight the robot, I'm like, nope. I'm the best at fighting.
Oh yeah, you get this like, oh man, it's like on Kill Bill. You hear that music, and you are like you are gonna get this robot. So roll 6.
Yes, I just don't want to fail. Oh my god. I didn't roll any!
Oh no! No wilds either. So, shoot. So you got.
It's the worst possible outcome.
Yeah, but you don't take a. So even though you rolled a strike, you don't get a strike because you're good at stones anyways. So it doesn't count against you for this scene. But yeah, so you're like running up and you've got this like tunnel vision and you are gonna punch that robot right in its stupid face. And you're like, get up momentum, and you go and you go to punch it, and there's a little bit of water on the floor, like a little bit of water that is, or whatever this liquid is that has been dripping off of it. And so like as you're going to punch, it kind of like you kind of slosh a little bit, and you still punch it, but it doesn't seem like it does as much damage as you would have liked. But yeah, because you kind of like slip off of it because it's like covered in this like liquid and it's kind of like slick to touch. So you kind of like glance off of it, and now you're like straight up close to this robot, and whatever that liquid was stinks. It's very stinky up here, up in the robot's grill.
Oh, this is not good.
Okay, and what is Buck doing?
All right, Buck's not gonna punch a robot. Buck sees the two of them just eat it, and
I didn't eat it.
sees this invincible robot standing before him, so panicked, kind of fumbling through his pockets, pulls out something he picked up a couple days ago, or in the first couple days of science camp, when I think he was snooping around a bit. I have a futuristic looking communicator thing that I somehow picked up. It's really heavy and super cool, but surely it's just a toy. It's not like anything would even happen if you tried talking into it. And I just seeing the robot and believing that there's maybe some connection to this thing I picked up, I just start clicking buttons and saying into it, Delta Charlie 6 Echo, disengage robot, repeat, disengage robot, as I'm turning things and hoping that it'll do something.
Okay, I'm gonna have you roll flames for this.
Okay.
To be like smart enough to like, how does this device work? It's a Flames 2 challenge.
Ooh, okay. Let's see if I have anything else that will apply to this. Nope. Nope. I can drive a car.
You're like really
Nope.
good at using stuff.
I have nimble fingers and I'm a gadget inventor.
Okay, yeah, so you're familiar with gadgets, and this is kind of gadgety device thing, so yeah, I think you get another one for that.
Okay, so how many do I get to roll?
So let's see, yours is, okay, so you get 4.
4.
4, so 3.
Okay, I got this.
Well, you want at least 2 flames, and you got 2 flames, and you also got a wild, so re-roll that.
All right.
So roll another one.
Nope.
Okay, but you still, technically that's 3, so you still pass. Yeah, so to be that challenge. So as you're like messing with this like weird device, and it's got like some buttons on the side, and like now that you're looking at it, like some of the symbols on here are similar to the symbols that you saw on the door. And so like you're kind of making that connection, like, oh, maybe this is connected. And yeah, you're like messing with it, and like disengage the robot, right? So that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and as you do that, you suddenly like there's like a screen that sort of appears that you like couldn't, like there was like a black square there before that you now see is like a screen, and it like lights up for a second. And you see the symbol that you don't recognize, but you look over at the big robot, and suddenly it has that same symbol on its little face screen thing, and it sort of like was like looming, and it looked like it was like gonna go after Bobby, and then just sort of like retracts a little bit.
I think it worked. I think it. Back up, robot.
Yeah, and you see sort of like the screen sort of like the lights up a little bit, and then it like takes a few steps back.
I have the remote.
Whoa.
What now?
We still need it to win Space Camp for us. Tell it to beat Space Camp for us.
No, wait! Don't tell it that!
Okay.
I don't know. What do we do? Like,
We have a robot now. We just
Well, it needs to teach us what it knows.
or I have a better idea.
Oh no.
This is the moment where I think we would like cut forward to this horrible idea happening, but obviously it's not a movie. We dress it up like a kid.
yes.
Have it win Space Camp for us.
I don't know, Buck. I mean, even I'm pretty big for a kid.
It's only
Yeah, it's the size of like an adult, like a little bit like broader, but it's definitely bigger than you guys, but it's like kind of adult sized.
He's a senior, and he's been held back a couple of years.
That's good, that's good.
yeah.
Because he wasn't super smart, but now he's finally got a good tutor.
Yeah. Wait, should we ask it, like, what it knows about space? Obviously, there's more than one robot here, is all I'm saying.
Hey robot, what do you know about space?
You guys see like the screen sort of like do that pixely thing, and it gives like a question mark sign, and you guys hear that weird voice in your heads again. It said, "Need a more specific question. Too broad a topic."
But it could, like, answer the test questions.
It could. Can you make the screen look like a face?
And it does like like a smile emoji. Like
Yes, that is exactly what I wanted.
emoji.
Perfect. No one will ever know. This is an 80s movie. The adults are real dumb.
I mean, that's true.
Wah, 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 wah.
Precisely.
Okay, this could work.
I think this is going to work. All right.
We have just won Space Camp.
Where'd John go?
I got him over here, and I'm trying to disentangle him from.
Yeah, because it kind of like your shirt kind of went up into the wheel, so it's kind of like you're kind of stuck there a little bit.
This is not the time for hugs.
He's surprisingly cuddly.
Yeah, and after like a minute or so, you disengage yourself from the robot. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. But yeah, and then he sort of, once you've like got him, do you set him upright, or do you sort of leave him there on the ground, kind of?
I'll put him back on his wheels.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Let me change the music to something less intense.
But it's so good.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so now that he's like back upright, you see like John appear again and sort of like looks around. And what does John do? Hang on, I'm gonna roll a thing for John. Okay. So he's like, I see you have found the other robot and now control him. Is he your new friend now?
Listen, John. You did good, buddy. I think we could be friends.
And he lights up. Friends?
Yeah.
Sort of like opens his arms and kind of like wheels his way towards you.
Okay. You helped us a lot, so thanks.
He sort of like tries to give you a hug. You guys see him get all pixely. And he's just got the happiest smile on his face. It's creepy, sort of holographic robot dude.
Do you think if we take John and set him on top of the other robot that they'll like form Voltron or something?
Do I know something with my mechanical engineering that might make that happen?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this would be like this would definitely be a flames challenge.
Even if it's just like checking around the room wearing for enough duct tape to make it.
So roll, this is just a regular like flames like 1 challenge.
Cool. So just 3d6 or
Yes.
4d6 or
well,
3d6.
do 4 because you said you were good with mechanical stuff. So yeah, so do 4.
Okay, but yeah, okay. Nope.
Nope. Okay. So yeah, so I mean there's some stuff in the other room, but there's like nothing that you see in here that would be good for making this Voltron.
Yep. So is that a flame strike?
That is a flame strike. Where are you?
I'm at 2 strikes, guys.
But you're not a cleric.
Miles cast Flame Strike!
Wait a minute. Okay, what are we playing?
Can't believe we finally made a Voltron reference and it made sense.
It's awesome. I mean, it is accurate because it did come out in '84. So you would have known what Voltron is.
Super topical.
Yes. So yeah, so now you guys have like these 2 robots. The weird lights are still going off, but you don't hear the like siren anymore.
Buck, ask him what those lights mean.
What do those lights mean?
Yeah, and the voice says, the scientists are afraid of me escaping.
Why?
And it does the face lights up and it does a question mark again. It says, please be more specific.
Why are they afraid of you escaping?
Hang on, I gotta look at my notes really quick. Okay, there's this. You said it says Dr. Kroner believes that I will destroy this planet.
Ask it if it wants to destroy the planet.
That's what I was gonna do. Do you want to destroy the planet?
And you guys see the face like lights up for a minute, but then it goes like dark, and it like doesn't respond for a little while. You guys are like starting to get nervous.
Oh
But
wait,
then it
robots
says-
don't have free will.
And it says, I am a friend of the Earth.
Well, this is the Earth, so I think we're good, guys. Let's go use the robot to win science camp.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I was thinking maybe we could pass.
Sorry, you're muted.
You're right, I'm muted.
Oh.
Sorry, I was
Go
saying
ahead.
something.
No, Savannah, go ahead. You were gonna say.
I was thinking maybe we could pass John off as like another camp counselor.
He's a little small. We might. I don't know.
That's as
But
far as
wait,
I got into the plan.
Yeah.
But,
John or the big robot?
Well, John, because he like looks like an adult, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, he's sort of just like an ordinary looking adult
Or
human.
like a chaperone.
wait. Could we say John is we created John as a helpful thing for external moonwalks so that we can you see what's on the terrain, and then we even doubly win space camp.
Are you gonna try to tell Space Camp we invented holograms?
No, we just used hologram technology as inspired by the wars that happened in Space Movie, and
I like all of these plans. We should probably get out of here first with the robots before someone comes in.
You're right.
okay. Well, can you ask the big guy? We should give this guy a name.
Yeah.
Can you ask Bob if he's a friend of people?
No, can't do Bob.
Let's ask it if it has a name.
Do you have a name, robot?
Hang on, I gotta consult something. I want to make a reference, but I don't know if it's within this. Oh yeah, this is already okay. It totally came out already. So you see the face screen sort of line up, and it says, "My name is Gort."
Gort. I like that. Why don't we have Gort come with us, and we'll figure this all out once we get back to the cabin.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's go. You want to hold the do you know how to work a camera, Gort? Here, just hold this, and I have him hold my camera for me, so I can get a good like cameraman for my direction. And as we're walking back, I just say like, no, you got to hold it still. If it shakes, like nobody's gonna want to watch a movie if the camera.
Yeah, because it's sort of as it like walks side to side, it's sort of like.
That'll
You
never
just
work
invent
out.
shaky cam.
No one will ever watch a movie like that. They'll get nauseous. It'll be bad. Just hold it still.
Gort, activate the gyroscopes in your arms.
That.
Yeah, and it like takes a minute, but then it figures out a way to like keep its upper half straight up while its like legs move around. So it eventually straightens out after direction from you guys.
All right, I'm gonna walk a little more human.
Okay. So you guys gonna go back to your cabin, I guess?
Yeah, with the robots, we can dress it up like another kid.
Okay, is anyone gonna look out for if there's any camp counselors walking around?
Yep, yeah, I can scout again like I did on the way here.
Okay. Alright, so this is I can't remember what I had you roll at the beginning. I think it was Gale's.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Gale's 1 challenge. And you're good at Gale, so you get to roll 4d6.
Cool. Hey, 1 Gale and 2 strikes.
1 Gale. Okay, yeah, so as you guys are walking, and you kind of peek in your head into the door into the doorway that had the woman that you saw earlier, Marisha. And she's still just like listening to her music. But yeah, doesn't notice you guys as you sneak past with this robot.
I think we get probably a scene of me like starting to go in there, and then like Bobby just like grabbing me and pulling me back out.
Yeah, basically. I mean, she was really cute, so.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't her phone number. I need to. All right, let's go.
Space Camp, Buck. Come on.
Thanks, Cap. So yeah, and you guys get so you get out the front door and you get to sort of the gate that you saw before, and it's still dark. It's probably probably about like around midnight by now. And yeah, you don't see any of the counselors about, but then you all remember that you jumped the fence to get in here.
Can you jump, Gort? Gort, climb over the fence.
And he like hands the camera back to you.
He's so considerate.
Thank you, Gort.
And then strides forward. Yeah, and you get this great shot of this robot that just like just sort of puts a hand on the fence and just sort of pushes it down and just like destroys that fence basically, and just like pushes it down and then steps over it, and then like turns around and looks back at you.
There are bears in these woods, right?
Yeah.
A bear did that.
Bear did that.
That was awesome.
Or we just have Gort pick up like a not big enough branch from one of the nearby trees and just put it like on the indentation, nowhere near where a tree branch would have fallen on a fence.
No one will know. No one will know.
Okay, do you do that? Because that's pretty awesome.
Yes. Yes.
That's definitely what middle schoolers would do.
Yeah. So now there's like a branch sort of where he crushed. Yeah, and it just sort of like crumpled in on itself, and sort of like the other poles are sort of like crunched in a little bit, and it's definitely yeah, now there's like a branch there, and yeah, like you said, it's not quite the right size, but it's a branch. It's kind of covering up your tracks in a way.
That was exactly what I wanted to happen, by the way. I'm very happy about that.
I'm just following Gort around now, like, teach me what you know. Teach me.
Yeah, and so then you guys yeah, start heading back towards your camp. I'm gonna say I feel like Gort has to roll to be quiet. But there's not really a mechanic for that in this game. So we're just gonna say yeah, if somebody wants to roll Gales, yeah, because you're trying to be dexterous. Yeah, so if someone wants to roll Gales, and this will count for like the group if like you guys can all be quietly make your way back to the camp.
I mean, I guess I should do it as our Gale guy.
Okay.
So this will be more telling the group when to go and when to wait.
Yeah.
That's a wild in there.
Hey, there you go. So that counts as one success. All right, and reroll that wild just to see if you get another one.
So nope.
Okay, no, but you still got one, and it was just like a simple one challenge. Yeah, so it takes a little while, and you kind of yeah, it is kind of like stop and go a little bit, because at one point one of the counselors does kind of come out and sort of like shines a flashlight around and kind of goes and checks that there's no kids wandering about, but you guys are able to like hide well. I picture like you suddenly all hop into like some bushes or something, and Gort like pulls down a branch to like cover himself a little bit, to like try to hide as you guys are like sort of blending in and trying to be sneaky. But yeah, and you yeah, you make it back to your little cabin. And yeah, so now you're in this cabin and you've got this robot, and yeah, that's what's up. Is there anything else you guys wanted to do or try or something before the morning?
We're gonna try and dress him up.
Yep,
Yeah.
make him clothes out of all the sheets and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and you sort of yeah, you sort of root around and like kind of look at like some of the clothes you guys have, and
Maybe go into some of the cabins with some of the bigger kids and steal like a shirt from there and some pants from over there.
Yeah, so let's see. I've actually got a little thing for that. Would any of the players, do any of you guys have an older brother? Do you think? Are you guys all, what did your family make up? I should have asked about this at the beginning of the game. I didn't think about it.
I had a sister once.
Yeah, you had a sister. Yeah, Miles or Buck or any.
I was imagining Buck to be an only child, but I think
Same.
Buck could also have like a teenage or maybe college age older brother who's also never around too.
Uh-huh.
And it's probably a bit of a skis.
Okay, that definitely works. Okay, so you guys like think about it and you realize like none of the clothes you have is big enough. But Buck, you remembered that your older brother, who you lovingly call Stink Eye, is also attending the camp. And he's almost 18, but like parents forced him to come here reluctantly, but he kind of hangs out with some of the he's got like a posse of like other angsty teens that they all hang out with, and you know that he and some of his buddies are in one of the other cabins, and that you could probably maybe grab some clothes from them to properly attire your robot friend.
All right. Yeah, we could go steal some stuff from my dirtbag older brother.
Is he the one that's always smoking cigarettes behind the dumpster?
Yeah, that one.
Gross.
Yeah. Do you think, Miles, you think you could sneak in there and grab some of
yeah.
some of his clothes? Good.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna, so you kind of like go over to the cabin, which definitely smells like smoke. You're surprised that the camp counselor hasn't smelled this, but I mean, this cabin definitely smells like smoke. And hang on, I'm just looking at the little note about it. Yeah. And so we're gonna say this is just a one Gale's challenge to sort of quietly like sneak in there and snag some stuff.
Okay.
It's just you, Miles. No one's else going with.
I probably would have gone with him to lead him there, but I'm not nearly as agile as Miles is.
And as long as it seems like they're asleep and I don't need a distraction, I will be sneakier on my own.
Okay.
Actually going in. So
Now, if he's a distraction, I can definitely help him with that.
Yep. But so 4 for being Gales, and then I have the budding pickpocket thing.
Oh
for
yeah.
trying to snag something.
Yeah. So definitely like so you could roll 5.
Yep. Just seeing if there's anything else I can pull in to get me up to 6, but I think that's gonna be it. Okay. Oh, there's a wild.
Okay. All right.
No extra Gales.
Okay. All right. So while this is happening, we'll come back to you guys in a second. What is Bobby and Grady doing as you're hanging out in this cabin with this big robot? What are you guys doing while Miles is on his reconnaissance mission with Buck?
I mean, if they don't get anything good, we could just use the sheet and like wrap it like a toga.
Yeah! Like, he just came in from an unsanctioned camp party.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we can make him look cool.
I think that'll work.
Okay. We should get him, like, some hair, though. Is this camp? I know it's space camp, but I think it used to be another camp. You think maybe there's like a theater or something that may have a prop room?
I think in the winter they have drama camp here. Let's go look.
Can we go and try and find a prop room?
Yeah, so it would have been this cabin. It would probably be in like the main building, not the one you snuck into, but like the big one that's got like the cafeteria and all the other rooms and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you guys sort of like wait until you see the counselor kind of like go back into their cabin. Yeah, and you sort of sneak over. Yeah, and so let me think. Let's have both of you guys roll flames. This is a flames 1 challenge to see if you can like remember like sort of where things might be, kind of like also searching out for stuff.
I don't know if my eidetic memory helps with this. I think it just helps me remember stuff I read. Hold on.
And because I got the Flames challenge card in the beginning, I get to roll 4, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I'm just also making sure if there's anything that I have that can...
It's not. It's you remember everything you've ever read.
Oh, okay. So you read, got it.
Okay, 4d6. Here we go.
All right, yeah.
And I get 3.
Ooh!
Yes. Dang. So yeah. Grady, what do you discover? What do you find? You gotta tell us what happens.
Okay,
You just got an epic win with 3 flames.
Yeah, okay.
On a 1 flames challenge.
Do I need to reroll?
If you want to, yeah. But I mean, you've already got like the.
Oh, okay, fine.
You're already awesome.
I'm already totally cool. So I just like strut in because it reminds me of a scene I shot in my, Alf remake movie, and
of course.
So I just stroll on in and I walk right into the room next to the stage that also works as like in the cafeteria. It's like, the all-purpose room kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I find the best Molly Ringwald wig.
Yes.
And I turn around and I'm like, I found it! Bobby, don't you think this is gonna work?
That is perfect.
Okay.
It's awesome!
And I scrounge around in the prop room to see if there's anything else that we could, like, I don't know, like a cowboy hat or something to, like...
Yeah, I mean,
add
there's
to
a
the
lot of
whole
really
thing.
cool stuff in here. Yeah, and with that epic win, you get to say whatever you find.
Yes!
What else do you find? So you find an awesome wig.
Let's get a cowboy hat. Let's get a pair of glasses. The Molly Ringwald wig. And a backpack.
All right, perfect. Yeah, and you find all of those things easily. This is such a well-stocked prop room. Yeah, and you kind of grab all those things. Yeah, and then head back to the cabin.
I like it. That's what we do.
Okay. Yeah, so back at the other back with the other group where you guys are sort of infiltrating into this older teens cabin to try to find some stuff. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Miles, did you roll yet? Or...
Yeah, I got the 1 wild.
Okay, you got 1. Okay, I remember now. Okay. So you sort of like start snooping in there. And it's a similar layout to your guys' cabin. There's like a bunk bed on one side, a bunk bed on the other, and a bunk bed against the far wall. There's like a room for 6. There's only 5 campers in this bunk, and they are snoring up a storm. And yeah, like I said, it smells like some kids were smoking in here. And you actually, like, as you're sort of creeping up to like what looks like a bag at one of the foot of the beds, you kind of see like a couple cigarette butts, and what looks like a couple like magazines. But yeah, yeah, I say there's like a bunch of like random, there's like t-shirts and some pants, there's like some shorts and stuff, just like basic stuff that you'd see at summer camp.
Hey, Miles. Miles. Where magazines too.
So I'll grab some of the clothes, and then just grab the magazines. I'll wait until I'm out of the cabin because magazines are noisy, and put them between the clothes and shuffle back out.
Okay. As you're shuffling back out, you hear like one loud snore and like, ugh, and it sounds like somebody like wakes up for a second, so you sort of like freeze. And you're like holding still, and then you don't hear anything, so you're like, okay. And then you like go back out to Bucky, and yeah, you've got you grabbed like a T-shirt that has a big logo on it of a crow, and it's like the local baseball team. And what else? And just like a pair of shorts. Sorry, the sun just decided to come out, so it's got really bright in here. And some weird looking magazines. There's like, some smutty stuff right here.
Your brother's into some weird stuff.
Yeah. I just hate them. Yeah, we should probably just make sure we get those to somebody. I do have the flaw way too into adult magazines, so I'm trying to commit to that as much as I can. We should definitely make sure those get thrown away.
Tucks those away where no one can see them. I mean, you've got some young teens. So then you guys taking your spoils back to the cabin. When you guys get back, Bobby and Grady aren't there, but Gore is just sort of sitting there. And like you see his screen has this sort of what looks like a windmill, and it's sort of like spinning just on his screen, and you just see this like weird little spinning windmill shape.
Where'd they go?
Gort, where'd the girls go?
And just let's see, like the screen changes, it sort of flashes a little bit and does a question mark. He says, I do not know.
I guess we should just wait for them to come back. Let's start getting him dressed in case somebody comes in here.
And you guys start, like, you have to sort of, one of you sort of gets up on a top bunk and is sort of like trying to pull like the shirt over him. As the other one is like trying to get him to like lift one leg and like try to get the pants on. It definitely takes a while. And Bobby and Grady, you guys walk in to sort of see these guys like trying to dress the robot.
Where'd you go?
You're not gonna believe what Grady found.
Bobby and I remembered that during the winter this place is a drama camp, so we went and raided the prop closet, and we found a wig and a hat and some glasses, because the head's a little shiny, and I don't think we can pass off black as a bald head. It just doesn't work. It's too robot-y. So we got him some more stuff to make him look normal.
And a backpack!
Cause we're at space camp and nerds have backpacks.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get it on him then.
And he looks pretty alright, like passable, you know.
Take the long hair and like put in a ponytail or something in the back. Work it through like the cat, or no, you said like a cowboy hat. All right.
Yeah, it's definitely a very interesting look. You know, he's got like this t-shirt and then a backpack and a cowboy hat and this long wig. What color is the wig? Is it?
It's Molly Ringwald red.
Okay, red. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's like very red hair, and these like sort of like long basketball shorts. Actually, no, these would be short basketball shorts because that was the thing.
Yeah.
So kind of almost booty shorts. What he's wearing.
He's showing off them gams.
Indeed.
All I think it looks fine. I couldn't tell the difference.
He's just a big kid.
Yeah.
Remember, we said he's a senior, but he got held back a couple times, and now he's got a good tutor, and so that's why he's at space camp. He's gonna help us win a space camp.
Yeah, and he's running late. That's why he only got here today at the end of the camp.
There was weather.
Yeah. All right. And his name's Gort. Okay, so,
Yes.
all right.
Which is short for Gordon.
I think we got this, you guys.
I think we
Gordon.
do.
Gordon, give him a last name just in case. Gordon Roberts.
Okay.
Gort Bob.
I was gonna say Flash, but I couldn't remember if that came out in the 80s or not.
All the references.
I was going to go with Half-Life.
All right. High five, Gort.
You sort of like, and it kind of hurts a little bit. A little too hard. High five.
Okay. Not doing that again. All right. Need some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty late. It's probably like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning by
Oh
now.
God, that's the latest I've ever been up.
It's so
Nerd.
exciting. Yeah, and so I guess you guys get ready for bed. Y'all hop into your respective bunks, and turn in for the night. And Gorsh just sort of standing there.
Can you make him sleep?
Gort, lie down in the bed.
No, I just meant like. Okay.
And he sort of like crawls in, and sort of it's the bunk that he tries to crawl into starts creaking really loudly. And you begin to worry that maybe he's too heavy, but he's already like almost on there. You hear just like, and he like kind of like straightens out, but it doesn't break. But it definitely was very creaky, and is like the old mattress is like definitely touching the ground. It's like no support.
All right. That works.
Good enough.
All right. Night, Gort.
Like you guys hear this in in the voice in your heads again. It says, "Good evening."
Sleep well. We'll win space camp tomorrow.
Yeah, so you guys like eventually like drift off to sleep after all this like cool stuff that happened. But then suddenly you guys are woken up by the siren that you guys heard earlier. You guys hear sort of that sort of bomb test siren going off again. I'm gonna see if this works. Yeah, okay, there you go. Slightly different music. Yeah, so you hear this siren go off, and you guys wake up to see, you also hear the sound of helicopters, kind of like circling around overhead, and you see these like bright spotlights sort of shining in, and like sort of shines in the windows every once in a while. You hear this voice call out from over a microphone. Hang on, I want to make sure I get this right. And you hear this voice say, "This is Dr. Kroner. Come out. We know you have Gort in there." And I think that is where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh no.
Oh, we are in
Alright.
trouble.
Yeah, as you guys, these lights are going off, and you hear, it sounds like there's like a lot of voices and people like calling out, and yeah, you heard this guy on the microphone just say, "We know you're in there," and that's where we're gonna end.
We have to play this again.
Oh, heck yeah.
I have to know what happens.
Play.
Prison break.
This is turning into like Iron Giant meets E.T. meets
Every 80s movie perfection.
Yep. So there you go. So we'll have to play this again sometime and pick up.
Yeah.
Figure out what happens to our young heroes.
But
And
this
the
means we
robot
can't
friends.
reveal our secrets to each other yet.
Yeah, if you get, so I guess thanks everybody for tuning in for our adventure tonight as we played Weave. Here's what it looks like. If you're interested, you can get it on the website is weave.game. It's a really fun game, as you guys see, and it's really fun. And it's got like really pretty cards and things, so I highly recommend it. I think it's a really fun game, and hopefully someday in the future we will continue this story. Is there anything else I should announce or say, guys?
Wild Space on Monday.
Oh yeah.
Wild Space Money, usual lineup on Twitter. Just check us out there. Might be doing some. The plan is to do some streaming this weekend of Sea of Thieves. Probably not tonight. Hopefully tomorrow. But we'll see. We're definitely going to be doing that soon, since that game just dropped. I know a lot of people out there are wanting to see it and decide if they want to purchase it for themselves. So check us out for that. Make sure you follow us on all the appropriate venues to see that. If I'm doing this, then I just want to say thank you to Morgan for this amazing
Heck
game.
yeah!
Heck yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't like canceling Survivors Complex, but knowing that we could pick this up, we're definitely gonna have to do this again.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
we'll continue to play more fun games like this. We've had a couple of fun one-shots now on the channel. We had Honey Heist, and now we've had Weave, so I think we'll continue to show you guys games we love. And hopefully you'll buy them and play them too.
Yeah. All right, but I think that's it. We'll go ahead and sign off for tonight. Thank you everyone for watching us, and until next time, good game and good night, internet.
Good night, Internet!